Welcome back to the small kitchen of the glory. I'm smoking, I'm in the kitchen. Today, I'm gonna make some chicken noodle soup and dumplings. I made chicken noodle soup a lot, not dumplings. But, we'll see. It's pretty simple. I mean, does it get easier in the soup? We got, the recipe I found. There's really no real recipe for soup, but I had to get a recipe so I could explain it better. But garlic, I called for 6. I'm using about 12. We got 2 smallish medium onions-ish, close enough. We have, where are they at? 2 carrots and this weird broken carrot that was in the bag. So 2.5 carrots. We have 3 stalks of the celery. Good firm celery. You hear that? Oh shit, it broke. Well, it was firm. It's so firm that it snapped instead of wiggled. And I lost it. All right, that's cool. We'll get around to that. Pepper. Pepper is important. Sea salt, that's important. A half a stick of butter. It looks like it was cut poorly because it was. We got into a bit of an argument before the video, and I won. And you can tell who won because look at the way that thing looks. Ah, there it is. What's this? Parsley or red pepper? Stick your finger in it, find out. That's what my grandma taught me. This is red pepper flakes. We're gonna put that in there. And a whole bunch of parsley flakes. You need lots of the parsley. Big old bag of egg noodles. The recipe did not call for egg noodles. I like a little bit of noodle. So I'm gonna do that. And we'll get to the dumpling ingredients when we do the dumplings. Oh, and there's chicken. That's still defrosting, but there will be chicken. Before we get into cutting, if you do enjoy this, make sure to subscribe. The subscriptions keep you up to date on my fun cooking adventures. Maybe you'll learn a thing, or you'll just have fun with me in the kitchen. And drop a thumbs up or a like if you so wish. Now, cue the beautiful cutting montage of professionalness. I bought an actual jar for shaking my garlic. No more sauerkraut container. Oh, there's other celery. We're gonna bust out the mandolin for the carrots. Because what's easier than that? And boom! Now that all the cutting is done, we are at the stove, and we have the half a stick of butter melting in the pan. Then we're going to dump in the celery, onions, and carrots. Bam in our onions. Scrape them all out with your hand, like a man. Oh, that smells good already. Whole bunch of celeries. Mostly beautifully cut. Squint your eyes really hard, they look beautiful. Now these carrots are beautifully cut because they were cut with the mandolin. Kablam those in there. I need an implement of stirring. Old trusty bamboo spoon. Can't go wrong with a bamboo spoon. Alright, we're just gonna let these simmer now until they start to get a little soft. 5-10 minutes. And we'll dump in the garlic. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, all them vegetables smell so good. Vegetables. Alright, these bad boys have been cooking for about 8 minutes. We're gonna dump in the garlic with a big old bam. Really gotta scrape all that garlic out. All them little teeny pieces of garlic. You want to get every little delicious bit of that garlic. I'm going to cook this for about a minute or so with the garlic, just to expel some of its delicious flavors into the boutar. Garlic expulsion, that's what they call it. Oh man, that be smelling good. The garlic is now cooked for about a minute, and what I have here is a pitcher with 8 cups of water in it. That's the only thing I have that can hold 8 cups of water to make this simple, and I'm going to dump all that into here. This is probably at least whole 8 cups, right? This is going to be very steamy, so we're going to back up. And we're just going to go for it. Just YOLO the pitcher. That worked perfect. Alright. Now we're going to let this come up to heat. And then we're going to add in the bouillon. How much water did I get all over? Not much. I can give myself a solid A-. Solid A-. half a stick of butter in here makes me feel so good, because more butter, more better. That do be what they say. All right, we're gonna let this come up to heat, and we're gonna get the chicken cut up. What I have here is a whole bunch of chicken thighs. A lot of people would probably use chicken breasts, but we're more of a thigh household around here. I'm gonna cut these into strips. I'm gonna slice these strips after they're cut into more manageable pieces. So we got them cut right there. We're just gonna slop one of these down. We're just gonna cut it up into nice smallish pieces. And we're just gonna do this with every single thigh. They don't have to be all the exact same size. They're just gonna boil in goodness and broth with all the vegetables, absorb all those flavors. The fat will come out of this. It'll go into the broth. More fat, more better. And it'll make it even more delicious. The ratio for this better than bouillon is 8 teaspoons for 8 cups. So that's roughly 3 tablespoons. And in my opinion, with bouillon, more better. So we're doing 3 heapers. And you know what? I'm probably just gonna scrape out what's left in here. You know what? I'll tell you what, let's just scoop some in here, some hot water, stir it around, dump it out. Now that we have our bouillon in, we're gonna start popping in some seasonings. I think I'm gonna put a little bit of smoked paprika in here because, well, damn it, I just like smoked paprika in everything. And if you don't, consult a doctor. All right, we need some black pepper. My hands are wet because I washed them. We're gonna do a half a teaspoon of red pepper, a tablespoon of parsley, but I just used my tablespoon and threw it in the sink, so we're just gonna use 3 teaspoons. This is not an exact science, you're just scooping some and throwing her in. Parsley smells a lot like the shitty weed I bought in high school. I think I might have smoked a lot of parsley in high school. Probably some oregano too, let's be honest. And we're just gonna stir this up to mix in the bouillon. And all of our beautiful seasonings. And we're gonna do salt to flavor. After we get it all melded and simmering, we're gonna do a quick little taste test before we put the chicken in, but we don't want to get the salmonella. I hear that's bad. I do hear it's bad. We almost forgot. The last minute addition. Smoked paprika. Oh man, when that hits the nose, it smells so good. I don't think I'm gonna put the noodles in actually. I think the dumplings will be enough. I don't think we need noodles. If I do, maybe just a little bit. Like a cup of noodles. Just add a little bit of that noodly texture goodness. We also might need more water. I don't know, we'll see. We'll see. Science. Alright, the way you test this, you poke your finger in, wiggle it around. Oh. Oh. That's good. I'm just trying to think what it needs. Garlic powder. Half a teaspoon of garlic powder. I know there's already garlic in there, but garlic powder has its own little thing it does, you know? You know what I mean? Now we're gonna let this simmer before putting anything. I have garlic powder on my spoon. Get off of there. Get off of there. We're just gonna let this come up to a simmer and let these flavors all come out and stop hiding a little bit. And we'll give it another little taste test. That's really good. Oh yeah. That is really good. Oh, as that cooks out. As soon as the carrots add a little bit more sweetness into that, that's going to be perfect. A little bit of spice coming in at the end from the red pepper. Oh, that's good. You will need a little bit of salt. So we're going to go ahead and just grab some. A 2-finger and a thumb pinch. And just sprinkle that in there. I don't think it's going to need too much. The bouillon is obviously better than bouillon. Has its own salt, so we don't need that a lot. I'm going to get the chicken in. We're going to bring this down, well, up to a simmer, then we're just going to keep it on a very low simmer. Just like the goulash video, very low simmer. We got a bunch of chicken here, and we're just going to dump it right in there, just like that. Give this a nice stir to mix in the chicken. If we have to add water, we will. We do want it to be kind of thick because it's chicken dumpling soup. American dumplings, not like wonton dumplings. People do get confused about that nowadays. When I was growing up, we didn't have those. They weren't called dumplings. They were called, wontons. We didn't know they were dumplings. It was the 90s. It's a wild time. Now they're dumplings. These are not those dumplings. These are just dough that you cook and then drop on the top with the lid on and let them simmer. This is something my mom used to cook all the time when I was a kid. And I probably haven't had chicken and dumpling soup in, I don't know how many years, 20 plus years, probably 25 years, 20, in between 20 and 25 years. It's been a long time, so I'm actually really looking forward to this. This isn't her recipe. This is just a recipe that I found on the interwebs. I mean, chicken noodle soup is like, a lot of times I'll put in some brown sugar just to add a little bit of sweetness to counteract everything else in there, bring out the flavors. Sugar brings out flavors a lot like salt does, so we might end up doing that. We might end up putting some cornstarch in here to thicken it up, depending on how it turns out. But for now, I'm just making sure it's all mixed up. Nothing's gonna be sticking together. We're gonna get a lid for this puppy. That's not the right lid. Shuckleberries. This one is bigger. Perfect. We're gonna put that on. I'm gonna let this cook for quite a while. At least 30 minutes. And then while this simmers and cooks, I'm going to start making the dumplings. The soup's been cooking for about 15 minutes, so we're gonna get the dumplings made up. I just spent forever looking for my half-cup measuring cup. It was in the flour. That's cool. We need 1.5 cups of flour. We're gonna go with the old pack and finger scrape. The old pack and finger scrape. Boom. Get this half cup, which was, here the whole time. I knew that. That was planned. I just did that for the bit in the video. Completely intentional. We need 1 little cute teaspoon of baking powder. My baking powder is exceptionally low. And it's really quite upsetting. Salt. Boom. Bam. That was a little aggressive. Grab a whisk. Mix this beautiful flour, salt, baking powder concoction up. Just to incorporate it all with one another. Now, we need 3 tablespoons of butter. Half of this is 4, scientifically speaking. So if we go 4, if each finger is a tablespoon, we lift up that finger and slide this one over, and then cut it right here. That looks like less than 3. That looks more like 2. Oh, Jesus. We're gonna get a little bit more. This does have to be cold butter. It's like making biscuits. You're gonna have to cut it in. I'm gonna put this butter wrapper in my pocket where it belongs. All I'm gonna do here is I'm just gonna cut up the butter into little cubes. The recipe said to use a cheese grater. That sounds like a great way to get a butter coated cheese grater. And really, nothing else. So what I'm gonna do here, I'm just gonna give it some quick slices and try not to get it too melted. Moderately, barely melted butter. We're just gonna put this right into the flour. And for this part, you do wanna use your hands. We're done with that. Oh, that just splashed me. I don't know what happened. It wasn't good. We're going to use the flour to break up the butter and coat it with the flour. That's actually what you should do here. Pieces that won't break, I just mush them with my hand. I used to use a fork to cut my flour, but it doesn't really work that well. I don't care what anyone says. They're damn well lying. What we're going to do with this is just pour in some milk. This is pretty much like making biscuits. We're making biscuits to go in the top of the soup. Broth biscuits. Chicken and biscuit. They're chicken biscuits. We're going to put a half cup of milk and a 1/4 cup of heavy whipping cream. Because more flavor, more better. I'm pouring this on a cutting board That way I can fill the milk up to the line, the top of the cup. And when it spills, it'll just spill on the cutting board. I just pick that up, pour that in there. Yes. Yes, I have a half a gallon of heavy whipping cream. I would prefer it if you don't ask any more questions about why I have that much. It's because, right, it makes everything taste so good. It's all going to the same place anyway, so I'm using my spoon from my chicken noodle soup, without the noodles. What some might just call chicken soup. You could do this with an electric mixer, but it's such an easy dough. It doesn't really involve kneading. I'm assuming it's like biscuits and you don't want to overdo it. You just want to make sure it's all incorporated with one another. You can probably give it a little swish in the bowl if you want. I don't know. I'm sure it says it in the recipe. I don't really look at recipes for bread anymore because I make so much damn dough all the time that what does it even matter? I'm just going to pick this up and mold it into a ball with my hand. Yeah, there's just a little bit in the bowl. That's perfect. All right. We're going to switch lighting. We're going to head on over to the stove. Oh, we got a nice simmer going. I actually let this cook for another 10 minutes after finishing up the dumplings. That's good too. It's not looking too thick. The chicken has to be at least close to done. All right, so what we have here is our thingies, dumplings. We're gonna grab a piece of it, just a boop, a 1 inch. That's what I said, a 1 inch. We're gonna roll this into a ball. It's like a 1 inch, right? We're gonna squish it together nice and good, and we're just gonna bloop it in there. Actually, it might not even have to be a ball. I'm just gonna grab some and just bloop, but different shapes more better. That's what I say. Just weird looking dumpling shapes. We'll put some more on this one. They're all gonna connect together anyway, so it doesn't matter. That one's kind of ballish. Bloop. Grab the rest of the dough. Just rip some off. You want little crinkly bits, you know? Little bits. That way it's all delicious. All right. Those are in there. Now we keep it at the simmer and let it cook for 15 or 20 minutes. Easy peasy. We have dumplings that have been cooking in the soup for about 17 minutes. Not because that's a perfect time, just because it took me 2 minutes to get my camera turned back on. Oh, yeah. Let's see, are they floating? They are. That's how you know they be done. Oh, yeah. Now, here's one of my issues. The recipe called for a cornstarch slurry. Oh, that's going to be so good. But stirring this is going to be hard, so I have an idea. I have this thing, which I've never used. But I believe, yes, this will support stirring even with dumplings in there. 3 tablespoons of cold water in my little espresso frother. I use this because it has a pour spout on it, so it's perfect for slurry. I'm going to get into my cornstarch. Let's just move over. The counter's dirty. Sue me. Effing sue me. Let's clean it up-ish. Don't tell Sarah. She gets angry when I make messes. And she beats me. She beats with me. I'm blinking twice for help. Alright. We're going to get this. We're going to put 2 tablespoons in here. And a 3 of water. It calls for 3 and 3, but I don't want it to be that thick. Well, we'll do the second one a little bit of a heaper. We'll get that in there. Get this. What we got right here. We're going to mix this up. Oh, yeah. Made it. That was the around the back hook shot right there. All right. I'm going to hold this with one hand. Put my finger over the spout. And we're going to start stirring while we mix in the slurry. I'm tapping it with my finger, just like so. This is probably steaming up my thing as well. We're just dumping in the slurry and letting this thicken up. We're just going to keep the motion in the ocean going. Oh, I don't know where to cross over. Oh, look at that. LeBron James eat it. I don't even know if that's a thing of basketball, but it sounds like it. All right, we're just going to keep stirring. Now this will have to cook for a couple more minutes to cook off any starch flavor. that one may have in their cornstarch. We're just going to mix up the middle a little bit, scrape the edges. And this is almost a done soup. I'm going to put the lid on after I stir it a little bit, just to give it another couple minutes, just to make sure that the dumplings are cooked all the way through. And let the cornstarch thicken this up. You can already hear by the sound it's thicker. It doesn't sound as watery, it sounds more, well, more thicker. More thicker. Floating dumplings, a thickened up soup. Oh man, that has some flavor, mommy. Oh, mommy, daddy, gender neutrally. That's good. Another 5 minutes and then we're gonna turn this off. And she's gonna be done. Dinner time. I'm so excited. We're gonna get a big scoop of that. Oh yeah. What's there? Oh, there's a, I don't want to eat all the dumplings, but I definitely want some dumplings. You know what I mean? There's a man-sized bowl right there. Manly man size. Get some more. That was a big man size. That's hot. That's very hot-o. Muy caliente, as they say south of the border. First things first. I gotta try and get a piece of this dumpling out. I probably should have waited for this to cool. This is quite literally going to burn my face off. Just a little piece. Oh man, that broth is a cock knocker. That is good. I just want some dumpling, bro. All right, that's gonna burn my face. So we're gonna sit here for a second and blow on it. Ow. Nope, false alarm, still too hot. Fuck it. Oh, that's so good. It's so hot, but it's so good. Oh man, it tastes just like a dumpling. I'm so happy with this. Let's just get a little bit of soup and get out of here. I swallow that and I now feel like my insides are on fire. I think I'm a dragon. Can you burn your esophagus? Can someone Google that? Can someone Google that? Can you burn your esophagus? I need to figure that out. Ooh, that was hot. This is dripping everywhere. It's so hot. But it's so good. Oh man, that is the shiznit, as Snoop Dogg would say. Man, that chicken turned out good. Thank you all for joining me on another beautiful kitchen adventure. I'm gonna let this cool down and then actually eat it, for real, instead of whatever just happened. If I can still taste. You're all beautiful. Thank you for joining me. Like, subscribe, and of course, ta-ta.